Have you ever felt like your emotional responses are just a little more intense these days? A bit more unpredictable than they used to be? If you're over 50, let me tell you, you are definitely not alone. So today we're going to dive into some simple, really realistic ways to find and hang on to your emotional balance. Let's get right into it.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's that feeling, when a small frustration suddenly feels massive, or you find yourself tearing up over something that never would have bothered you before. It can feel really unsettling, but it is such a common experience. The good news is, just understanding why it's happening is the very first step to getting a handle on it.
So let's start with the biology. What is actually going on inside our brains and our bodies that makes us feel this way? I promise you, it's not some kind of personality flaw, it's a real shift in our physical makeup. I really want to pause on this for a second. Just let it sink in. What you're feeling is natural. It is not a personal failing. It's a biological reality. It's just a series of subtle changes that, well, they have a really big impact on your day-to-day mood.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how these three things kind of feed into each other. So first off, our stress tolerance naturally goes down. You can thank hormonal and neurological changes for that. It means our internal alarm system can get triggered way more easily. Then you add in that our sleep often gets lighter, it's less restorative, which has a direct hit on our mood regulation. And on top of all that, life is shifting. We might be caring for aging parents, figuring out relationships with our adult kids, or dealing with our own health stuff. It's kind of a perfect storm for feeling emotionally overwhelmed.
Okay, so knowing all that, what can we actually do about it? Well, the answer isn't some giant, stressful life overhaul. Nope. It's about building a toolkit of small, consistent habits that create a buffer against all that daily stress. Let's look at a few really simple ones. Look, these aren't just nice ideas. They are powerful, practical tools for managing your energy. Kicking off the day with some deep breathing, I'm talking just 60 seconds, it calms your nervous system before the day even really starts. And the to-do list, keeping it to just 3 things stops that I'm already behind feeling. And the pause, that's your secret weapon. Instead of just rushing from one thing to the next, giving yourself even 2 minutes of quiet time in between stops that frantic energy from building up. But managing our internal world is really only half the battle. We also need to manage our connection to the world outside. And as we're about to see, the power of our social ties is just absolutely critical for our long-term emotional well-being. This is such a crucial point. We tend to think of health risks as things like cholesterol or blood pressure, right? But researchers are now seeing chronic loneliness as being just as dangerous. That's because our brains are literally wired for connection. It's how we help regulate each other's nervous systems. When we don't have that, we lose a primary tool for managing stress, and that creates a vacuum where anxiety and sadness can just move right in. So the solution is to be proactive about connection. Think of it like taking your emotional vitamins. Scheduling a weekly call with a friend, that's putting a non-negotiable dose of connection into your routine. Joining a group, doesn't matter if it's for walking, a book club, or gardening, builds a community. And simply sharing a meal turns a basic daily activity into an opportunity to really bond. These actions directly help regulate your brain's mood centers and make you so much more resilient. All right, let's talk about our third and final strategy, simplifying your physical and digital space. Like we talked about, our brains, as they mature, they don't love chaos. Too much stimulation from our environment can lead directly to irritability and that feeling of being mentally exhausted. And this just lays it out so perfectly, the choice we have every single day. Over on the left, you've got brain chaos. Trying to juggle a million tasks, your phone buzzing constantly, surrounded by clutter, that's a recipe for stress. But on the right, you have brain calm, focusing on one thing at a time, turning off notifications to get your attention back, and creating a calm, predictable space to exist in. This isn't about being lazy, it's about being strategic with your precious mental energy. So here's the bottom line. This isn't about pretending you don't feel angry or sad or frustrated, not at all. It's about building a foundation, a lifestyle that is strong enough to hold those feelings without letting them totally take over. It's about supporting your brain with calm routines, meaningful connections, and clear, simple spaces. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question. Not a grand plan for next year or even for next week, just today. What is one calm choice you'll make today? Will you take 5 deep breaths before you get out of bed? Will you text a friend and schedule that call? Or will you just turn off your phone notifications for 1 hour?
Your journey to emotional balance, it really does start with that one single choice.
You know that feeling, right? That nagging little hum in the back of your mind? The thoughts that just seem to spin and spin when you're trying to sleep? We all worry. It's part of being human, especially as we get a little older. We worry about our health, our families, our future. But what if all that worrying is doing more than just making us feel anxious? What if it's silently, secretly chipping away at our actual health? Well, that's what we're going to get into. So let's really ask ourselves this question. Is that constant state of worry just an emotion, something that lives entirely in your head? Or is it something more? We're about to see how this thing that feels so invisible can have a very real, very physical impact on everything from your memory to how often you get sick. It's not just in your head, trust me, it's in your body too.
So, that's our mission today. We are going to pull back the curtain on chronic worry. We're going to follow its trail right through your system and see exactly what it's doing to your brain, your body, and even how you connect with other people. By the time we're done, you'll see what's really going on under the surface.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the physical toll. Because this isn't just a vague feeling, oh no, it's a full-blown chemical reaction happening inside you, and it has real, measurable consequences.
Think of it this way. Your body has an emergency alarm system, and the stress hormone, cortisol, is the siren. Now, in a real short-term crisis, that siren is fantastic. It's exactly what you need. But when you worry all the time, that siren just never shuts off. It's constantly blaring, and your body is just flooded with cortisol. That's where the damage really starts. So what does that constant alarm do to your brain? Well, it's kind of like running your computer at maximum power, 24/7. It never gets a break. And what happens? Things start to slow down, right? Your memory isn't quite as sharp. It gets harder to focus. And your sleep? It becomes shallow, broken up. You wake up feeling like you didn't really rest at all. It creates this vicious cycle of being exhausted, but also weirdly wired. And listen, your brain is just where it starts. This constant state of high alert sends shockwaves to your whole body. It puts a massive strain on some of your most important systems.
Think about what's happening here. Your heart is working harder than it should be, all the time. Your immune system gets so preoccupied dealing with the stress signals that it can't do its main job, fighting off germs and viruses. That's why constant worriers often get sick more easily. It's the direct link between what's happening in your mind and what's happening in your cells. All this worry creates a state of low-grade inflammation, which we now know is a major player in so many long-term health issues.
So, you know that feeling when you're just wiped out, totally exhausted, but you can't figure out why? It's not in your head. It's real. It's the physical price your body is paying for being stuck in that energy-sucking fight-or-flight mode. There is a reason, and that reason is worry. Now, beyond all the internal chemistry and the physical strain, there's this other side to it. Chronic worry carries this heavy emotional weight, one that can actually change your life in ways that other people might not even see. Let's break down how this actually works. On the inside, you feel anxious. So what happens on the outside? You start avoiding parties or gatherings. You feel stressed and under pressure, and that slowly eats away at your confidence. And when you just feel completely overwhelmed by it all, the easiest thing to do is just pull away from everyone, which leads to feeling totally isolated. Bit by bit, your world literally gets smaller. And here's the really tough part. This whole process, this slow retreat into a smaller world, it often happens in silence. To everyone else, you might just seem a little quiet, maybe a bit tired. Your closest friends and family might not even realize the battle that's going on inside. And that, of course, can make you feel even more alone. Okay, we've looked at the pretty serious damage that worry can do. But here is the good news, the really good news. You are not powerless against it. You can absolutely fight back. So let's look at 4 super practical, science-backed ways you can start breaking that cycle. First up is a technique called brain unloading. It sounds a little technical, but it is so simple. Before you go to sleep, just take a few minutes. Grab a notebook and physically write down everything that's on your mind. Getting it out of your head and onto the paper is like telling your brain, okay, I've got this handled, you can rest now. Now you can actually put these tools together into a powerful little routine. So you can do your brain unloading at night. During the day, you can try a worry window. You literally set a timer for 10 minutes and you let yourself worry. And when the timer goes off, you're done. It contains it. Anytime you feel that anxiety rising, you can use slow breathing. Just a simple inhale for 4 seconds and a long, slow exhale for 6. It instantly calms your nervous system down. And finally, a really big one, try to limit how much news you're consuming, especially right before bed. It could be a huge trigger for anxiety.
Look, you don't have to perfectly solve all of your worries in one night. That's not the goal. The real goal here is just consistency. Every time you do one of these small, simple things, you're making a deposit in your future health account. You're protecting your brain, your heart, and most importantly, your peace of mind.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with just this one question. Don't get overwhelmed by thinking about all 4 steps. Just focus on one. What's one small thing you can do for yourself tonight? Will you try writing down your worries? Maybe just 1 minute of that slow breathing? What is the one small step you're willing to take?